I thought my husband was finally going to lose his temper. Instead, he picked up my overnight bag, handed it to the man I'd been having an affair with, then looked him in the eyes and said, "Would you walk my wife to her car?" For a moment, the room stopped breathing. The man I'd spent the last year sneaking around with looked at me. I looked at my husband. Neither of us understood what was happening. My husband smiled, not happily, not bitterly, just peacefully. "I think she's your responsibility now. My name is Emily." My husband's name was Daniel. The man I betrayed him with was Aaron. Aaron wasn't supposed to matter. He was just another parent I met during my daughter's soccer season. He coached another team. Funny, patient, always the first to help clean up after practice. Our conversation started beside folding chairs. Then they continued over coffee. Then lunch. Eventually, they continued behind my husband's back. I spent months convincing myself that Daniel had stopped seeing me. He worked long shifts as an emergency room nurse. He missed dinners, missed weekends, missed birthdays because someone else's emergency came first. I told myself I deserved someone who had time. I never admitted that Daniel wasn't choosing work over me. He was choosing sick strangers because that was who he had always been. Aaron made life feel lighter, less complicated, at least in the beginning. We kept our relationship hidden. Hotels, long drives, afternoons when Daniel worked. Never the house, never our daughter. That had been the rule. Rules have a way of changing quietly. Aaron started coming over while our daughter was still at school. He'd help fix little things around the house, a cabinet hinge, a loose fence board, a leaking faucet. I told myself it wasn't personal. He was just helping. Then he stayed for lunch, then for coffee, then for entire afternoons. The house stopped feeling like the place I shared with my husband. It became the place where I lived two different lives. Daniel noticed. Not because he caught us, because the little things changed. The picture frames were straighter. The faucet suddenly didn't drip. The bird feeder he'd forgotten to refill was always full. Someone was taking care of a house that wasn't theirs. One Thursday afternoon, Daniel texted, "Running late. Don't wait for dinner." Aaron came over. We ordered takeout, watched television, pretended we had all the time in the world. Halfway through the movie, the front door opened. Daniel walked in carrying a paper grocery bag. "I forgot my phone charger." Aaron stood so quickly he knocked over his drink. Daniel looked at him, then at me, then at the two dinner plates. He didn't raise his voice. "So," he said quietly, "this is Aaron." Aaron swallowed. "Yes." Daniel nodded once. "I imagined meeting you 100 different ways." Silence. I have to admit, this wasn't one of them. I waited for yelling, for accusations, for anger. Instead, Daniel walked into our bedroom. He came back carrying my overnight bag. The same gray duffel bag I'd secretly packed dozens of times. He set it beside Aaron. "I folded the rest of your clothes." My knees nearly gave out. You knew?" For almost 10 months. 10 months? 10 months of pretending. 10 months of lies. 10 months of him already carrying this alone. He looked at Aaron. "I assume she's staying with you." Aaron opened his mouth. Nothing came out. I... Daniel smiled gently. "You don't have to decide right now." Then he handed Aaron the bag. "And one more thing." Aaron slowly reached for it. Daniel looked toward the front door. "Would you walk my wife to her car?" Neither of us moved. "I'm serious." Aaron frowned. "I don't..." Daniel interrupted. "You've spent a year making sure she got home safely after your dates. You can manage the last 30 feet. I started crying. "Daniel..." He shook his head. No, there isn't anything left to explain. Aaron finally picked up my bag. It looked much heavier than it really was. Daniel stepped aside, leaving a clear path to the front door. As Aaron reached it, Daniel quietly spoke again. Take care of her. Aaron nodded. I will. Daniel smiled sadly. I hope so. Because I don't get to anymore. Those words shattered something inside me. Aaron opened the door, held it for me. Neither of us spoke while walking to my car. The driveway suddenly felt miles long. Finally, I whispered, I'm sorry. Aaron didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked back at the house. Daniel still stood in the doorway, hands in his pockets, watching us leave. I don't think, Aaron said quietly. He hates us. I looked back. No, I think he stopped hating us a long time ago. Aaron placed my overnight bag in the trunk, closed it, then rested both hands on the car for a moment. This doesn't feel like winning. Because it wasn't. Daniel had taken away the one thing that kept our relationship exciting. The secrecy, the chase, the illusion. All that remained was reality. Are you okay? Aaron asked. I laughed through tears. No. You? He stared at the driveway. I thought he'd scream. So did I. I almost wish he had. I nodded. Anger would have been easier. Instead, Daniel had given us exactly what we'd claimed to want. Each other. Without him standing between us, there was nowhere left to hide. I climbed into the driver's seat, started the engine. Aaron leaned down to the open window. Call me when you get there. For the first time, those words didn't make me feel safe. They made me feel trapped. I drove away, watching Daniel grow smaller in the rearview mirror. Aaron and I tried to make a real relationship work for almost 6 months, without stolen afternoons, without excuses, without secret messages. We discovered something neither of us wanted to admit. We had been in love with escaping, not with each other. Eventually, we broke up. Quietly. Almost politely. Years later, people still ask me what happened the day my husband found out. They expect a fight, a dramatic confrontation, a police report, broken furniture. Instead, I tell them the truth. My husband asked my affair partner to walk me to my car. Not because he wanted to humiliate either of us. Not because he had forgiven us. But because he had already accepted something I hadn't. The moment I chose someone else, I stopped being his responsibility. And by asking another man to carry my bag and walk me to my car, he quietly handed back every promise I had already broken.